Hi everyone, my name is Ruth and I live in Bradenton, Florida. Bradenton is located in Manatee County, which is the county right next to Sarasota County where the storm is coming through. So we did not evacuate. We chose to stay home. Many people question our actions and ask why we didn't evacuate, but I can tell you why. So I am a disabled person with limited mobility. I have limited energy and my body's in pain 24/7 unless I'm taking medication. So not only am I responsible for myself, but I'm also responsible for my elderly parents who live at home with me. My dad has dementia and needs 24-hour care and gets very disoriented when he's not in a familiar environment. And in addition to that, we have 3 dogs with us. So when the government says evacuate without providing any resources, without, providing anything, it's basically every man for themselves. Go ahead and get in your car and drive far away is just a risk that I can't take. What if I get a flat tire with my limited mobility? Not only that, but the pain that I'm already in because I had to put up hurricane shutters at home. We did it little by little. My mom helped me as much as I could, and so did my dad. But, I'm in extreme pain right now. Everything that I do impacts my mobility. So thinking of, okay, let me get in a car, let me drive up, 6-7 hours to wherever so that I can get out of the way, it's not really a solution. Not by what I was hearing where all the highways are packed. It was taking people twice as long, right? It's just not feasible for me to get in my car and go, risking running out of gas, risking getting a flat tire and having to change a tire is just something that I physically cannot do. I wish that we lived in a system and in a society where people were prioritized, elderly people were prioritized, where disabled people were prioritized. But unfortunately, that's not the system that we live under. This government says evacuate, but they provide very little resources, if not absolutely nothing for you to evacuate with. And I remember from Hurricane Helene, the call was not only to not evacuate, but use the shelters as a very, very last resort, meaning don't come to the shelters if you don't want to. And this was the sentiment all throughout the media, which is just mind-blowing to me. But again, the lack of assistance, right? All the hotels have been basically taken. People are out of their houses. I know that this is over 5 million people that have evacuated, and, I'm thankful for that. But how about the millions more that cannot evacuate? How about the millions more that are in a position like myself? How about other disabled people that have even worse physical problems than I have and that are not able to get themselves out of the way of the storm, which is what my intention was. It's just something that I just really couldn't do. And why don't we have a government that actually helps out with this type of stuff? Why don't we have a government that lines up buses and takes people wherever they need to go, where it doesn't have to come out of pocket? People don't need to book hotels. People don't need to spend gas. People don't need to do any of that. Those are the things that we should have in place. This is really the only way that we can save lives. Anytime a storm comes, there is that question of, what can be done differently and why doesn't our government do more? In addition to that, I want to indicate how crazy it is for you to even go get sandbags. Did you know that if you go get sandbags, at 90% of the locations, if not 99% of the locations that are provided by this county, do you know that you have to fill up your own bags, your own sandbags? So you have to take a shovel, you have to fill up your bag, and then you got to take your, 35, 40-pound sandbag to your car on your own. And I know that because I've done it after having infusion treatment. Now, I just don't have the energy to do that. I don't have the strength to physically pick up things. It just can't happen. And I need to reserve some of my strength still to see how bad the storm is on the house, to see if there's any other emergency, to see if water comes in and we need to run to the second floor. What else we need to do? I still have to save some of my strength for that. So what can I possibly do? The options are very limited here. When we have a government that is sending billions of dollars overseas, and those billions of dollars should have been used right here at home to evacuate the people in Florida, the people that need it, people that are now, just waiting to see if they are going to survive this storm, basically. And that's going to be the sad story. You will see that once we wake up tomorrow, the sad story will be how many people have actually perished when they could have been saved if our government simply took action.